All right, check 1, 2, just making sure you can see me and hear me okay for this Monday Guitar Motivation. Go ahead and throw a hello in the chat. Let me know where you're at. This is live, and it is Monday, and we just need something fun to do for the week. So once everybody kind of shows up here, we'll start talking about our Monday Guitar Motivation for this week. Okay? So just making sure you can see me and hear me before we get started here. Okay, perfect. All right, Fred is here from Los Angeles. UMC 81 is here. Daywalker, of course, is here. How you doing, bud? Ronald is here. Michael is here. Richard is here. Joseph, hello. Chris, Samuel, another Chris, Kim, Kevin, Tim, all over the place. We got tons of people. This is great. Wow, we already have a lot of people in here. This is awesome. Scott is here. Thank you so much. We hear you from South Florida. Cool. Thank you, Max. Mohammed is here. How you doing, buddy? Larry is here. There's all kinds of people here. So cool. I'm glad you can hear me. You can see me okay. I'm going to give you something fun to work on again this week for our Motivational Guitar Monday. Mark says, I love your videos. Thank you so much, Mark. Juka is here. Cool. Sorry, I don't want to take all the time just saying hello to people, but hello to everybody that's here. I really do appreciate your time and taking time out of your day or your evening or whatever it is that you're doing to hang out with me. Aberdeen, Scotland. Wow, that's cool. Hi, Jackie. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started. What we're going to be doing today is we're going to be talking about some 3-note per string ideas using pentatonics. And really all we're doing here is we're trying to figure out a way of being able to utilize our pentatonics, but do them in maybe a more unique way that you haven't done before, okay? Now again, in saying that, there's nothing wrong with the way that you're already doing pentatonics. If you like what you're doing, that's great. But I'm going to give you a couple things to think about a little bit here and see if we can't find something else that might be sort of interesting as well. Now, today I'm going to be using my 10th anniversary Ibanez Gem. Now, this guitar is tuned down a half step, but I've been playing it all morning and I just kind of enjoy playing it. So I'm tuned down a half step. Hopefully that won't screw you up again. I'll explain the frets and all that sort of thing, but every once in a while I gotta bring this guitar out and use it for some things. So that's what it is. Anyway, so let's see here. Perfect. Cody is here. Thank you, Cody. And Lucas is here. Rock is here. Brian is here. Awesome. So let's go ahead and get started. So let's say, for instance, I'm going to switch over to this camera angle. Let's say, for instance, we were in E minor. So I'm going up to the 12th fret. This is my 12th fret right here. And I'm just doing the standard E minor pentatonic position. Okay, so I'm just playing that standard kind of what I would call the first position. Okay, what I teach people to do a lot is a technique called meandering, and you can look it up on YouTube or whatever, and you can always head over to guitarzoom.com and check out my guitar courses and the membership and all that sort of thing as well. But basically what I teach people to do is to utilize like a position, like your first position right there, set a metronome or a jam track or whatever, and you just start learning kind of how to move around at that speed, whatever speed it is, okay? So I don't want to go into detail of that because that's a different practice, but let's say we were learning our 5th position as well. So I'm on the 12th fret right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move back 2 frets to the 10th fret, and I'm going to play what I refer to as the 5th position, okay? So there what I'm doing is playing 10, 12, 10, 12, 9, 12, 9, 12, and then 10, 12, 10, 12. Now, when you learn how to play, when you learn how to play those 2 positions, a really wonderful thing happens where you're able to start learning how to shift back and forth between those positions, which is really, really powerful. When I was a kid and I was learning my positions of scales on my guitar, the one thing that I did wrong is I would learn the position and I would play in it, and then when I would go to the next position, I would shift up, and then I would play in that. And since then, I've always called it playing with blinders on, where we don't really learn how to utilize the fretboard in its entirety, or at least in whatever positions we're learning. We get stuck just being able to play that position and then move up and be able to play that position and then move up and be able to play that position. Well, meandering is a great way of being able to take, for instance, this first position and this 5th position and be able to move back and forth between them. And make stuff where you're moving back and forth between those two positions. See? So what I want to do today is show you some ideas where we're combining some of these positions together. And it's okay if you don't know all your positions and you don't know exactly what I'm talking about. You can always do some more research on those, or you can just learn these and have some fun, okay? So Brian is here, Joe is here, A Minute Jam is here, very cool. Kevin is here from Norway, that's awesome. So the first thing we're going to do here, let me show you this. I'm going to go up to the top of my guitar, the high 2 strings here, and I'm going to play 10-12, 10-12, and then 12-15, 12-15. So I'm combining 10-12 and 12-15 into one position. So 10-12, the top of the 5th position, if you will, and then 12-15, the top of the 1st position. Okay? So what I'm going to do here, and this is what I want you to practice if you're looking for something new, is I'm going to take this 10, this 12, and this 15 of this first string. Now notice how I'm using my pinky, I'm using my middle finger, and I'm using my first finger. So instead of going and playing those 3 notes of the pentatonic, which is 15, 12, 15, I'm taking this 15, that note D, and I'm putting it here. So I'm just changing the string that it's on. And what that's done now is it's giving me the availability of being able to play 3 notes on this one string. Peter Demarest Jr. is here. Hey, Pete. Mike is here. Alan is here. Martin is here. Thank you. No, it's not a new gem. It's a very old gem, as a matter of fact, but it is tuned down a half step, so I'm just letting everybody know that. So as I'm doing this, what I'm going to then do is go to the 12th fret of the 2nd string. So if you have your guitar with you, I'm playing 15, 12, 10, and again, I am a half step. I probably should have changed guitars, but we'll get through this. So, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and I'm going to play 12, 10, 12, 10 like this, pentatonically. So I have 2 patterns within one pattern. I'm going, and then, so if I put those together, I get, okay? So does that make sense? So what's really cool about this is you're taking this one little idea and of thinking about 10, 12, 10, 12 pentatonically, and 12, 15, 12, 15 pentatonic. They're both E minor pentatonic. And I'm taking both of those kind of blocks, if you will, and what I'm doing is I'm creating a pattern by using some of each one of those positions at the same time, you see? So as I play 15, 12, 10, and then I go to the 12 of the 2nd string right there, that gives me those 4 notes. And notice how I'm doing pull-offs here. You could certainly pick these. For me, it's much more efficient for me to do these as pull-offs. So I'm going 15, 12, 10, and then playing that 12. And then I'm doing just pentatonic here, playing 12, 10, 12, 10. Right there. Now, in order to make that happen, what I need to be able to do is when I play this 12 on the 2nd string, I need to be able to drop back down to the 12 of the 1st string. Okay? So I've always called that crossing, finger crossing. So I'm just crossing this finger back. See how I'm not lifting it and moving it? I'm just dropping back down. See that? Okay? And then what I can do with that is I can just start making that pattern. See that? Now, in order to get it really fast, obviously it takes some practice. But if you understand the concept of that. Now, let's take that idea, and again, it certainly helps to know your pentatonic positions as we keep moving. Otherwise, you've got really no reference, right? You're just thinking about fret numbers, which is okay. But again, I would always strongly encourage you to learn your different positions of whatever scale you're learning and learn how to see them across the fretboard because, again, the magic really starts happening when you're able to masterfully kind of move around that fretboard. Maybe you don't know all the positions, but knowing more than one position is going to help you a lot, okay? So now let's take that same idea, and again, I'm in E minor pentatonic, so if you know E minor pentatonic or the positions of this, okay, I'm going to be doing the exact same thing. So this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to move back to my first position, so I've got 12, 15, 12, 15, and I'm going to move over to the second position, which is 15, 17, 15, 17. So I've got this block of 12, 15, and then this block of 15, 17. You see that? So now I'm going to do the same idea, okay? But this time I'm playing 12, 15, 17. So I'm using the first, the third, and the pinky because it feels comfortable for me. I mean, you could do it this way if you wanted to, but this is how I'm doing this. And I'm going to do the exact same idea. I'm going to do pull-offs from 17, 15, 12. Go to that 15. And then I make this box of 15, 12, 15, 12. So I have... See that? So you could go from this one into this one. Or use whichever one or whatever it is you want to do with it. I'm just trying to get you to think a little bit differently about how you could approach these. You don't have to play it as fast as I am. I'm just trying to show you what the potential is of it, okay? Now, we could do that again, and this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to move up, and I'm going to have 15, 17 that I just played. But on the next box here, I'd have 17, 20, 17, 19. Now, the 20, it doesn't really matter because I'm not using that 20 anyways. So what I really need is this 17 and the 20, and then the 17, 19. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use 15, 17, 19. Now, you'll notice I'm using these three fingers. I'm not using the pinky, again, because it's easier for me as the frets get smaller to fit my fingers in there. So I'm going to use pull-offs from 19, 17, and 15. Back to this 19, or to this 17, excuse me, and then have this block of 17, 15. So now you've got... So you could use that one as well, okay? So there's all kinds of different ways that you can do this across the fretboard. I don't want to give you 50 ways because I don't want to confuse you, but what you'll notice is I'm going to E minor pentatonic, number one. Number two, I'm choosing positions where the blocks, if you will, that I'm using are kind of similar, like 10, 12, 10, 12, 12, 15, 12, 15. 15, 17, 15, 17, right? That sort of thing. Because it makes it easier. It's more symmetrical when you start playing this. It makes it easier to try and execute these kind of licks, these ideas, okay? So if that makes sense, I'm going to give you one other thing. Maybe I'll save some of the other ones that I thought about for next time so I don't give you way too much in 1 week, okay? But the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to visualize both positions, the first position of E minor pentatonic that I talked about, which is the 12, 15, and the fifth position, which was the 10, 12, 10, 12, 9, 12, 9, 12, 10, 12, 10, 12. And again, if you don't know your pentatonics, this is going to be kind of tough, and that first part's probably more than enough to do. But if you already know some of these things, what you could do is take that same idea that I just played and apply it to each group of 2 strings as you move this way across the guitar. So let me show you what I mean. So you could do this. See that? That's the one we did. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start on the 2nd string and go to the 3rd string. You see that? Okay, give me just 1 second here. We'll take that out of there. There we go. Now, I want you to see, when I go from the second string to the third string, it's a lot harder because I got to stretch from 9 to 12. And I'm doing that with these two fingers because this is the finger I'm on. Now, if I was going to go from the third string to the fourth string, which is 9, 12, 14, 9, 12, 14, I'd probably shift in my fingers. Okay, so the point is, and again, I don't want to confuse anybody any more than you might already be confused, okay? I'm not trying to make an advanced lesson or something. But if you can see those two positions, okay, what I'm doing is just taking the first and second strings, making this long box and then the small box, right? This, and then the small box. And I'm going to apply that long and small box to the second and third strings this time. But I am having to stay faithful to the E minor pentatonic scale as I do it. So I'm going 17, 15, 12, 10 to that 12. So that box looks the same. But the next box I'm going to have to go 12, 10, 12, 9. You see? Now, if I know my pentatonic, I'm going 14, 12, 9. That's my big box. And then my little box would be 12, 9, 12, 9. Okay? And then I'm on the fourth string now, so I'd have 14, 12, 9. Big box. Little box would be 12, 9, 12, 10, because I got to stay pentatonic. Okay? And then I end with big box would be 14, 12, 10. And then small box would be 10, 12, 10, 12. So if I put it all together, it looks like this. A little bit faster. And there's just a million ways you could approach something like that. You don't have to play all of those all the way across or anything like that. I'm just trying to show you that those are available to you. So, for instance, if you were playing and maybe you don't want to come all the way up to this one, you could go to this one and just go to that one in the center there and do whatever you want from there. So it's a great little idea that you might be able to use. Let me say hello to a few more people. Terry is here, Shannon is here, Chris is here, Mia is here, Danny, so good, awesome. Let's see here. Lassie is here, Joseph is here, Danny is here. I'm trying to read because this is a little ways away from me. Okay, is Tab available for this lesson? Not really, I'm just going live showing you something. So Joseph, you'll have to re-watch this, but it'll be available on Facebook. It'll be available on YouTube. You can watch it on either one of those if you go to the Guitar Zoom or Steve Stine channels on YouTube. If you go to Steve Stine Guitar or Guitar Zoom on Facebook, you're going to be able to watch this again. And just so you know, too, if you use a plugin like, if you use a web browser like Chrome or Edge or something like that, you can always get plugins. They have extensions, Chrome extensions they're called, that you can get, and you can slow down videos on YouTube. You can slow down videos on Facebook, things like that. So if you're watching this and you're like, well, I really want to do that, but he's just going a little bit too fast for me, you could actually install one of those Chrome plugins if you want. If you don't want to, you certainly don't have to. But that way you could slow them down a little bit too, and that might help you a little bit whenever you're learning stuff like this from me or anybody else. All right? So everybody, take care, stay positive. Please share the video. Watch it again and again if you need to try and learn some of these ideas. And join me, of course, next Monday when I go live again, and we'll talk about some other things. And if you get a chance, head over to guitarzoom.com, check out my guitar courses, the membership that I offer, different kinds of things like that. And of course, finally, stay positive and keep practicing, okay? Stay positive. It's very important, all right? Everybody take care, and I'll talk